Hello, my name is Jamie Birchall, and you are listening to and or watching our podcast called Wormhole Pinball
Wormhole
Presents.
Pinball Presents.
Wormhole Pinball Presents. Today, I'm very, very excited to be joined by two great individuals. Today, I'm really excited to be joined by a very special guest.
And today, I'm very excited to be joined by two awesome guests all the way from Arizona.
Hello and welcome to the Wormhole and our podcast we call Wormhole Pinball Presents, an interview series we started to highlight those in pinball and arcades. And today I'm really excited to meet again, but this time interview him, our European pinball distributor, Stefan Riedler of RS Pinball. Welcome back to the Wormhole, but this time virtually all the way from Austria. Stefan.
Hi, Jamie. It's great to see you again. Hopefully see you soon in person again. And I really liked Wormhole. It's a nice place to be. And I hope that we bring here in our Flipparena as well a nice feeling to the people and enjoy the hobby.
Yeah, I was going to ask, what do you think of our little place here at the Wormhole? What do you think about it?
I really love it. What I really love on your collection is the big diversity what you have. So different manufacturers, old games, new games, some exotic ones. And this is always the best thing. And maybe you have recognized when I've been on your place, I went always to the rare games or to the games that you don't see so often, because I really like to play these games which you maybe never seen before, or which are maybe some a bit strange and you don't see them so often. And hopefully these games are then free and to enjoy them. Because I Medieval Madness, a Monster Bash, or games like this you can find basically everywhere.
Yeah, Tim of the Wormhole bought a new in the box heavy metal from you, right?
Yes, that's correct.
Yeah, I helped unbox it at his house. It came to his house. I helped unbox it. It is gorgeous. And I know you'll be excited to know that it is coming to the Wormhole this weekend. So,
oh, perfect.
Your heavy metal, it will be, and in fact, we're going to put it like right over here, right behind me, because it's so beautiful.
At the end over there. And mine is signed by the band Halloween, because the band Halloween, they have a song in the game. And a friend of mine, he was once in the past the producer of them. And so I was joining a concert of them in Frankfurt, took the game with me, put it in backstage, and then all the band members which have been there signed me the back glass. It's a nice, fast-flowing game. We often use it as well, like for the eliminations when we have tiebreakers.
Okay.
But there is then one disadvantage in the tournaments, and so please consider it when you use it, because you can steal the balls.
Yeah.
So on this case for tournament use, I remove one post in there so that not a ball can fall in and you can shoot it out and can steal it, because basically it cannot stop there again.
Oh, that's smart. Well, thank you for that, because we're going to put it in a tournament in less than a month. So I appreciate that. Yes. Thank you very much. It's good advice.
Take care about this.
Stefan, thank you. These interviews are very informal. I love to start out with origin stories, right? Because my first question from when I was reading your background, how do you go from working at a motorcycle manufacturer in Germany to becoming a major pinball distributor? Take me through that journey.
Austria.
But, it's in Austria?
Yes. So, yeah, KTM is an Austrian company. It's around 50 kilometers away from me. And during the time when I worked there, I bought my first pinball machine. And my technical education, let's say my origin is I did my A-level in electronics. Later on, I studied automotive engineering. So I'm from the technical guy from my education. And when I was young, I rarely played pinball. But then it came in my mind somewhere in the 2000s, it would be great to have a pinball machine. So I had a look on, searched in the web, found some in eBay and so on, and have seen, oh shit, they are crazy expensive. They cost €1,000. So $1,000. Oh no, I don't buy such an expensive toy. Then I dropped this thinking, but half a year later, I want a pinball machine. And
what girl? No.
Oh, Labyrinth. Yeah.
Oh, that?
I don't know.
Sorry.
It's quite loud now.
Once.
No, it's fine. It'll stop.
That was the track mode.
It's the best topper in pinball right now. We'll talk about that later, but I think that topper is so great. And if it interrupts you, so what? It's so good.
So then I searched in the eBay further and I found one pinball machine and I bid on it and I bought it for 600 euros. That was a Buck Rogers. It
Oh,
was
okay.
around nearly 1,800 kilometers away from me. But I was on a business trip the week afterwards in this direction. That's the reason why I bid for this game. And then when I drove there and picked this game up, I came home directly with two games, with the Buck Rogers and with a Cyclone. So it got more and more. And during this time, when I worked for KTM, I then rebuilt the house. And after the renovation, I got more pinballs. I had at the end 15, 16, 17 pinballs machines, something like this.
Yeah, you went down a wormhole.
And due to the fact that I was working for a motorcycle company, even when I was developing the sports car, the game Full Throttle, which was announced by Highway Pinball at this time from UK, was interesting for me because of the motorcycle theme. And then I decided to buy a game and thought okay, let's try. And I buy some more. I worked at this time point already for another Austrian company. And so I started then to create my company, create RS Pinball, and buy and sell pinball machines. So that's basically, I would say, the only good thing what I could say about Andrew Highway. He brought me into this hobby, or from the hobby to the business, and now it's my full-time job. Everything else from Andrew, yeah, let's pass on this.
We'll pass. We'll pass on that. You know, no worries. I see a bunch of machines in the background. Are you at Flipparena?
Yes, I'm now in the Flipparena. So you see here in the background some games like the Elton John or the Fathom Mermaid Edition, or over there the Funhouse, the Spinal Tap. Over here some games. I grabbed now some games which you see directly in the background. I set them up today. I grabbed some of these games today in the morning for another customer because I do as well like contracting. So if somebody's searching a game, I search the game for them and acquire the games, recheck the games, and then move the games to them.
So describe Flipparena to me if you don't mind. Oh,
Yeah, so Flipparena, it's a pinball club with all different kind of games. So I am the head of the pinball club. A friend of mine is the vice, and then we have here in the club, let's say between 20 and 30 members. And we meet each 2 weeks on Saturday in the afternoon, starting from 2 p.m. till late night. Everybody can join the Flipparena and can play with us, have some fun. It's a one-time entry fee what you have here, and then you can play as much as you want and each game what you want. And we do have here a small kitchen, like with good pizza and with some drinks. So because if you're here from 2 p.m. till late night, you need something to eat and drink
right.
and enjoy your time. And the Flipparena itself here is normally my showroom from RS
Okay.
Pinball, but we use it then as the clubhouse from the pinball club.
That's really
And
smart.
we organize basically once, so each 2 weeks we have open. Basically once a month we organize a tournament. It's a match play tournament, Swiss style, 16 rounds. And the result of the 16 rounds, so the amount of wins goes into our league. And we have 12 league appointments, and the best 6 count into the results. So that means if you have 8 results, then the worst 2 get vanished. And the best 4 players compete then for our league in the Austrian league final against the other leagues, which we do once a year.
Oh, that's
And
fantastic.
so and each tournament is an open tournament where everybody can join who wants. And so it's not registered as an IFPA league. Let's say it's an Austrian league and it's a combination of 12 tournaments, what we have, because this is much more reasonable nowadays with the IFPA rules for the players. Because in the past, we had sometimes players which had been here and playing like a full season, 190 games, and got one result for the IFPA.
I love the try before you buy philosophy that you have. You know, I know a lot of other distributors have showrooms, but not exactly what you've got going on in Flipparena. That's fantastic.
Yeah, my philosophy as well as distributor is people should have the opportunity to play the games and enjoy them and see which kind of game they like. So I typically, if somebody is coming to me and say, "What's your favorite game? What do you recommend? What should I buy?" and so on, then I say, "Oh, let's see what game type you are. Because I always explain, if you drive a car, in Europe you would say some would drive only Mercedes, the others would drive only Citroens. On your end, it's maybe a Buick or a Cadillac. And so it's different philosophies. And so let's see which player type you are. Do you like a fast game like it's Venom? Or do you like more a stop and go game like, for example, Wizard of Oz? So which kinds of player are you? And when they are here and when they see all brands, what is existing, or nearly all brands, and then they can play and test it and see uh, what do they like the flipper feel of the Stern, or do they like it different? And then we find the right game for them, and I help to find the right theme and game what they can enjoy.
Let's talk about the EPC or the European Pinball Championships for a second, if you don't mind. How big is this event, and when and where will it be held?
So this is the biggest, let's say, European tournament, or one of the very biggest tournaments, and it's a major. So this year it's in Poland, and next year we will organize it in Austria. So we will organize it in Flipparena, in the town where I'm living.
Awesome.
Not here in the Flipparena, because this space is far too small. We will go to near the stadium in Flipparena. That's an ice hall. We have there nearly 20,000 square feet.
Wow.
That it helps to understand in US dimensions. So nearly 2,000 square meters. And we will bring there around 140 pinball machines. And from these 140 games, so I will bring, let's say, basically nearly all of the games which have been introduced in pinball since 2015 around. So it's a target to have each Spike 2 from Stern. We will have each Jersey Jack, each American Pinball, each Chicago Gaming. And when I say each Chicago Gaming, I also mean Vacation America. I only need to convert it from 110 to 220 volts, but it's already in the storage.
Wow.
So I would like to really bring from all these manufacturers all these games so that we have a good diversity. And a lot, I have as well classics, Bailey Williams, like Johnny Mnemonic, Star Trek, or Indiana Jones and stuff like this. But other clubs, and the Austrian Pinball Club, Flipper SV, or Flipper Keller Landshut in Germany, 2 hours away from here, or some other clubs like Kugelklopfer, only 1 hour away from here. And I will also shoot out to Flipnik, the club in Graz, which will organize the week before us, the IFPA. From them, we get also games. And so we will have there around 140 games. Target is to have between the games, head to head, around 60, 70, or let's say 20, 30 inches of space. Between the aisle, it will be, let's say, like 15 feet of space. So space is on this venue not the problem. We have enough parking space, and the target is absolutely to have like 320 participants. So like 5 slots of 64 persons or even more. And some special tournaments because of the kind of games what we have, that we maybe do tournaments only with, so I'm already here in talk with the whole set of games from a manufacturer, and make a dedicated manufacturer's tournament.
Oh, that's
also
cool.
Then supported and sponsored by them, but we maybe get some people over here as well. So idea is maybe to do a kind of 1 or 2 seminars in addition, and something around, and not only the tournament, but to make it accessible as well for the general public and people, and have, let's say, like 20 to 40 games maybe in free play area, so that as well the tournament players, that they can play between the tournament games as well, some pinball. Because for example, if I was in Fulda on the big tournaments, I'm not such a good player. And if I'm playing, for example, on a classic, and my game is over after 5 minutes, and Johannes is playing on a Stern and beating it for 30 minutes, then I have 25 minutes of waiting time.
Yeah.
So my engine is running cold, and I'm not again in, and I would like to play. And then it's always important, from my point of view, that you have some free play games that the people can join and can have some fun. Or there will be as well some high score tournaments where you can play meanwhile your game, that you can really have around 4.5 days full of pinball. And our IFPA country director, Arno Nöbel, he's supporting me with the tournament system, what we are defining there, so that we take care about all the actual IFPA rules, and that we have no problems that somebody is excluded from a tournament and then the tournament would not be valued as amount. So here he have a close look on.
Good.
Because as well, the IFPA rules get from year to year let's say, always a bit longer, a bit more sophisticated, some new stuff in it, then you need to be here on the latest status that everything is working fine.
Who's streaming the tournament? Is JDL Pinball going to stream it?
Yes, JDL
Okay.
will stream it. They will be before at the Flipnix to stream the IFPA, and then they will move to us and stream the EPC. So I really think we will have there a very good opportunity, and as well for Americans or from people from abroad, it would be a very good chance to fly over. Then the best players can join the IFPA, and then you can join as well the EPC and all the side tournaments. So there will be multiple of tournaments.
You know, they're lovely people. I got a chance to interview them, and they do just such a great job. I think they're one of the best streamers of pinball on the planet, and I'm really.
Yeah, and it's always good. They really do a good job. They have super equipment.
Oh
They
yeah,
have several rigs what they can jump over from one rig to another.
yeah. He's
And
got
as well,
three
all
of
the
them.
pinball crowd, which is at the tournaments and which is supporting them in addition on co-commentary, is always great.
Well, ask Jim if he needs a commentator. I'll fly to Germany or Austria, and I will make this happen. So you tell him that he's got a commentator in his back pocket. I'll fly up there for it. That'd be awesome.
I will
And
do.
by the way, you're a good pinball player because I saw your ranking and you're close to 1,000. So don't say you're not a good pinball player. You're pretty good.
Yeah, I don't concentrate enough when I play, let's say. I like the relaxed playing. And this was once something where Jim had a lot of fun. I think it was Hot Wheels where I was supporting him on co-commentating at Fulda. And then I was explaining, yeah, you should play the game like this and stack the ball there, collect it, and try to get further and the jackpots here and there. And then I said, yeah, but that's not the style like I to play, because to put the fingers up and try to catch the balls and keep them in multi-ball, for me, the balls, they need to fly, shoot and fly.
Yeah. I'm working on slowing everything down in my game. And it's a transition. It's taken me a lot longer than I thought it would. So
Yes.
let's
That's
talk about.
for I would like to mention here one thing
Oh,
shortly,
please.
because I mentioned this now. For pinball techniques. So for everybody who is not aware about it, we have a very good, great guy in Austria. It's Abe Flips. So have a look on his YouTube channel, Abe Flips on YouTube, and he has right now a Kickstarter running. He's regularly playing here on our club as well, and teaching the people of how to play. And the Kickstarter was good enough to reach the top tier. So as well, he will do rules and considerations for pinball tournaments, classical games, and I brought him already, or he picked up some of my games, that he have a good diversity as well for the games where he can do the recordings. And this is good for everybody who starts playing pinball or is already playing and wants to get more professional. So that's a good shootout to him.
Oh, well, and you sent me the link and I've watched a bunch of it. So congrats to him. And that's way to go, Abe. There you go. Uh, let's talk about more in depth about being a distributor. Okay.
Yes.
You started this distributor or did you buy an existing company?
No, I started it by my own. So it was
Wow.
I had a main job, and I started it as a side business, as a side activity. I was in contact with in addition with the Stern distributor, so I started as well to sell the Stern games. And next year it will be 10 years where I do it. And that means next year, 2025. So when you consider back in 2015, there was not such big amount of companies already existing and delivering games. It was already going up. So Jersey Jack was there. I ordered before already, for example, in Hobbit. When I started the distribution ship, my Hobbit was still prepaid but not delivered. So when this got delivered, I was taking care already of importing it as well for the Hobbit of a friend of mine who ordered it together with me, took care about all the taxes and all that stuff. And I did it for a long time as a side business. It was growing and growing. I'm regularly and very often going to tournaments, to different events and exhibitions, bringing my machines there, setting up a booth, and trying as well to show pinball to a new crowd, to new people. And we have a big booth where I am as distributor and we as a pinball club go.
No. Oh, That girl. She's already been through it once. Why won't she go through that again?
It's a great topper. We'll talk about it
I
again.
think I will shoot it then a bit more quiet.
Okay, it's fine.
And so due to this, it was continuously growing. And with the Comic Con nearby, where we have a setup, the largest one was like with 140 games, where some other clubs was helping me as well. So we are continuously getting new customers. And I'm a collector as well, so I contact the brands when somebody is coming up newly and trying to get to buy an early game that I can test
Okay.
it and then buy more and sell the games to the customers.
Do you
And
get,
so you can see the Spinal Tap over there.
yeah.
I have here the Fathom, and I have a Super Hoop as well from Bidronic. So you can see basically then nearly each pinball brand in here in the room as well.
Yeah, you distribute for all the major pinball companies, right?
And if somebody's asking me how many are existing, then I always put the world map in front of my eye and say, okay, we start in Canada and then we go down to Australia, so that I don't miss any of the manufacturers, because it's far more than 10 already. So the hobby was
Yeah,
really strong increasing. The COVID times, every private person and every business person in pinball will confirm it to you that it was a huge boom during COVID. The demand was big. The people wanted to have the games. The prices were raising. So if you had new games on stock or if you had used games, it was easier to sell them. But with the economical situation what we have right now, it's getting more tough.
yeah,
People maybe wanted to trade and not buy so many new games. And for me, the good thing is that I am quite diverse with all the manufacturers. I'm still going to a lot of events. I did it before, I do it right now. So for me, it's, let's say, kind of normal activity like I always did. And that helps me as well, that you have always a sale here or there. But right now, for sure, the sales are not that high like it was in the main COVID time. That's true.
right.
It's going back to the normal, I would say, what we had before COVID, but there is for sure coming challenges. Because, for example, Stern, they have good products, but as well, they increased overall the whole capacity because of the COVID demand. And now they have a huge capacity with the new factory, which is really awesome, and they do a great job. But as well, these amount of products need to be sold. And so that's a
Yeah,
challenge for the manufacturers and for us as distributors or dealers to get all these games to the customers and find customers for them.
absolutely. Let's say a major pinball manufacturer is coming out with a new machine. As a distributor, do you get a heads up about that machine that is coming, or do you find out kind of when we find out?
It's depend really on the manufacturers. So on some manufacturers, you get the final confirmation very short before. And on some manufacturers, you have seen the game already, or you had as well already the chance to play it and to give them as well some feedback on the game. So that really is a bit diverse. But for me, because I was working in the past in automotive industry, I know what confidentiality means, and that is for me always an important point. When I get the information from a manufacturer and when I play something or see it, I will. Customers always ask me, what is the next title? Is it this or that? And then I need to tell them I cannot confirm, but I will not deny, because that's the business. And we have all of us, we do have, let's say, different kind of lists. So I have a lot of people which are interested in, for example, if there a Harry Potter would come, or if a Back to the Future would come,
Okay.
or different other titles, like say like Fifth Element and stuff like this. So there's a lot of rumors going around.
Yeah.
And then you hear always different people talking about different stuff and different rumors. And some of it, already it's true or not true. And on some others, it's also, yeah, it's a nice story. Let's listen about, let's see what really comes out. And not everybody is always correct when they are announcing anything or
Yeah.
do some predictions.
I'm not in the prediction business as a streamer. I just like to interview people and find out their stories. I'm not in the rumor business or any of that stuff. There's much better people like Knapp that can do that, and Colin at TWIP and Kinetic System. So, do you have to have a set number of machines that you have to buy? per manufacturer, or do you have to wait for the demand, or do they call you and say, here's 10 machines, do you want them or not?
So this is always as well depending on the manufacturer. And some manufacturers, they tell you, okay, we bring this game, that's a limited edition based on the sales, what you have done. Your allotment would be like this and this. Think about it. Give us, let's say, like in a few days or maybe in a week, feedback. Is this allotment fine for you? Do you like more or do you like less? And so if a manufacturer is coming with an allotment, then you know, okay, this I could have for fix. But then as well, it as well depends sometimes, okay, do I would like to go with this amount because my country or Europe is on themes different, on some themes like US, so that you check here, what is the situation? Or check with your sub dealers, how big is the demand? And on some others, on the smaller ones, you have, let's say, often a kind of minimum quantity, and if you want to get more, that's then typically not such a big problem. It depends always if it's then the limited edition or if it's a standard one as well.
I was always I'm fascinated with that, right? So like if you hear about a theme, they tell you this theme is coming, and let's say it's Smurfs. Do you guys have Smurfs over there in Europe? Those little blue dudes?
Smurfs we have. Smurf is big.
So
Smurf is well known, but this would be something where I would say, for example, the theme is good. The theme is well known. But how have you integrated it? What have you done? What is in it? Because the Smurf is typically really for small children.
right.
So, and there, I would say there is a different story on Toy Story. Because Toy Story, when this have been released, this was really Toy Story 1 really a while ago. I have really seen it when I was much younger. You know this theme as well, so big, and it's made. I would say Toy Story is more made for the whole family, and Smurfs is more made only for the children.
Okay. I was just curious if you saw, like, you get a heads up, here's Smurfs, and you're like, these little blue guys aren't going to sell, but you bought 10 of the last pin, and you decide to only buy 5 Smurfs, LE Smurfs. Does that hurt you on the next release, or it is what it is?
Uh, I was till now never in the case that I didn't took the allotment, so I cannot say if it would hurt me or not, because with all the activities what I did and with all the growth what I had in the 9 years, I was always taking the allotment or even purchase more. For example, some people have mentioned that Elton John will not sell when it have been introduced, but it's such an amazing game, and I bought quite a good amount of them, and I reordered and reshipped already in and air freighted some more games and container freighted some more games because it's really such a good title. And because the demand was at the beginning not that high, let's say, on the Elton John for the collector's edition, like it was on a Guns N' Roses,
Okay.
as well due to quantity, it was still possible to order a few more collector's editions, which I was then possible to get to my customers. And so I sold much more collector's edition of Elton John than of Guns N' Roses, not only due to the fact that the quantity was doubled.
If when you buy the pins directly from a manufacturer that's based out of the US, do they ship to you and then you ship out, or do you have to organize shipping from the manufacturer?
So I pick up at the manufacturer and I do the transport organization, basically everything by myself with my partners. I built up a good network of logistics companies. I have as well some customers in logistics industry, which helped as well. But you always need to recheck the costs because depending on the country or area where they're coming from, if a game is coming from Texas or from Chicago, then maybe in Chicago the one company is cheaper in shipping, and in Texas the other one would be cheaper. So I take care about all of this.
Okay.
I get all of the games to my place. I have an additional warehouse, which is very close to here, where I can unload the whole container, even if it's stacked containers. So stacked games in the containers, and then we ship to our customers, or we put in extra equipment if they order, let's say like invisible glass, speaker light kits, shaker, or whatever. And then the games get shipped to the customers. It's as well due to all the customs. It's important to get them in at once in one place. Then you have all the customs handling, all the rules, the check, if everything is fine. And then as soon as it's in Europe, then the shipping is easy to distribute to the different countries.
Okay. Prices have gone up, like you said before, after COVID. Do you see a price decrease coming, or is this the price point for the foreseeable future?
I take two examples now. Let's take two of the main manufacturers. Let's say like Stern and Jersey Jack. And you need to consider as well the situation that I'm in Europe and not in the States. You have in the States basically always the same dollar price up to now. We had the situation that the prices for Stern at least was going down a bit in the last time. Because if you compare it, for example, to James Bond Limited Edition, the exchange rate, euro to dollars, was very shitty for us.
Yeah.
So the James Bond Limited Edition was more than 17,000 euros, including the 20% VAT what we have. Yeah. And right now we are at around 16,000 or slightly below, slightly above. So this is always a very important factor. So this is one point what we need to consider, and this we have seen, for example, on these games. And on Jersey Jack, I mentioned them as well. What they have done, as an example, from Godfather to the Elton John, is they have put more value in the game for the same pricing. So they already had a look on the actual situation and on the market, but they have not decreased the price, but they put more value in it. You get radicals, you get the topper, you get inside out plates. So that's extras what you paid for in the past, around $1,000. So they already had a bit of look on it and took care about it. But let's see what the future will brings in kind of manufacturing business. I think the very high prices what have been there during purchasing in COVID, they have been reduced. And so some of them give the advantage as well further. So I have a third shootout. Let's say take Pinball Brothers. When they have introduced the Alien Replay Edition, you got more features in the game, but due to the reduced purchasing costs what they had, they as well lowered the price. So the Replays edition, which had more features in it, was cheaper than the standard edition, what was there before. So now they built the Replays edition, which is a bit cheaper. So some of them are really considering it, and some are going more on the keeping it on the same value. But really, I cannot predict how it will go on. I think it will be quite stable. And I had some discussion with some friends in the past weeks. For example, if you are employed at an automotive industry company, then we have a kind of tariff payment wage. And due to the annual negotiation what they had with the working council, I think it's called in English, the money what the people are earning in the past 3-4 years increased around 25%. So for example, if a Stern Pro was in the past like 6,000, to have an easy number, then it's clear that this would be maybe now as well 7.5, and then it's normal. You earn 25% more, the game got, but the machine is a bit more expensive than this 25%, and this is maybe because we know pinball, it's a lot of fun, but it's nothing what you need that you can live. It's a toy, it's a fun thing. And sometimes these products are then raising a bit higher in prices, but I see as well that they are moving maybe a bit faster, maybe up or down, instead of if you buy milk, a daily product, this will not increase or decrease the price such easy as it might be on pinball. So it's for sure interesting for us. Let's see what the future will bring.
That's fascinating, because I don't want, as an American, it's very difficult for me to think that the government says, oh, well, you're making more money. This, that's bananas to us, but.
No, it's not the government, but let's say because of all the inflation, what happens? The people, they earn 25% more than 4 years ago. And this is because everything got more expensive. And so let's say if you earn 25% more, then if the pinball is 25% more expensive, it's still the same price.
Oh, okay.
But what happens to us in a personal feeling, I see it's 1,500 more expensive. And I think, hey, it's crazy. It's 1,500 more expensive, but on the same time, I earn more. This is the difference from what we had in the past 20 years, because you had an inflation of, let's say, like 2, 3, 4%, but not of such high amount. And this is something where it's sometimes as well hard for me to have a look on the used games. If I have a used game in stock, maybe for a while, I will recheck what is the actual market situation, how it have been moving up or down, because maybe I would sell it far too cheap, because I'm still in the thinking in the mind from before. But I would need to sell it then a bit higher to be as well on the market price. I don't want to overshoot it, even if I'm a professional one. The games should still be a reasonable price as well on used games. So you need to have here a close look on.
Are you
For me, it's always important to have the customer being happy. I need to make a living, that's clear, but as well the customer should be happy, and they should come back again as well when they are happy, and it should not be a rip-off. And so you see in the internet some shops or some scammers where you think, okay, they only want to rip off, and if they sell once a game to a guy, then they never want to see him again, but they made such a big amount of money. And I'm more the guy, I'm open for everybody. I go to so many events. I welcome everybody to come here and to come frequently here, because that, I think, is then a long-term business approach.
Are you hampered by a region as a distributor, or can you sell to anyone anywhere?
This as well depends on the manufacturer. So there is a legal situation in Europe that you can sell everything everywhere from the European Union out, but some manufacturers give you then the restriction, say, no, we have a contract, you should only sell in your country. And if I have, for example, then a customer from another country and they want to buy the game from me, then I tell them, you can pick it up on my place, that's no problem, but I'm not allowed to ship the game to you. So that's on some of the manufacturers, some harder discussions.
Okay, great. Haggis Pinball is getting hammered on podcasts and social media. Do you think Haggis can make it?
I think it's a tough situation right now. And as well, Dutch Pinball had been in such a tough situation.
Yeah.
So there is recently, now in the last days, yesterday, I've seen some social media posts that maybe they are now moving out of the factory because of not paying the landlord. I tried to reach Damien. I was in regular contact in the last weeks with him. And we had the plan that he is coming soon over to my place as well, because the first beasts should be ready. But I think it's a quite tough situation right now. I don't say that they are busted or that they are totally safe. But I think the product, what they are doing, is a great product. It's really good quality. And unfortunately, it came to this situation. And I know that nobody's happy about it, especially I'm not very happy about it, because I have prepaid several games or down payments for several games. And so I would get busted in this case. And this would not be a nice situation. But let's see where it goes. I do my best to work with him together and to try to get the customers happy. For sure, customers are continuously asking me what's the situation, what's going on. And with the legal situation, what we have here in Europe, it's the case, if the company really would get busted, then all my customers would get their money back.
Okay,
Some
good.
of them told me already, if it would happen, you can keep it, but let's move them to another manufacturer, to another game, so that they don't hurt me, let's say, too much. But if they want to get the money back, then this is the case.
All right,
let's
great.
say I had here the situation during COVID, for example. We had quite long delays on Spooky Pinball with the Halloween and with the Ultraman.
Okay.
And we had a super bad exchange rate over here, development. So when the games had been then coming over to Europe because of the delays and of the certification to be allowed to sell them in Europe, the game got $1,000 more expensive for the end customer. And so some of them said then, no, I want to not take the game. And all of them which told it to me, they got the money back. I deposited Spooky for the games, and I tried then to sell it to somebody else. which was not possible with all of these games in this time, let's say. But then as well with the good cooperation what I and Spooky have, we found this here a good solution. And as well, they had then some of my games they sold then in the States, and this was then a fine situation too.
Let's talk about
the distributor and manufacturers try to work together. Everybody from us need to make a living, but we have usually longer relationships, and we know that if the customer is happy, we will be successful as well.
Absolutely. That's a great practice. After Texas Pinball Festival, you came to Houston and got a tour of the Barrels of Fun factory. What do you think about what Barrels of Fun is doing?
They're doing really a great job. So I know David van Es from the past. I had already some calls with him. I met him the year before at TPF. He was working at Spooky in the past, and David Fawcett, for example, and so on. So they are doing a good and great job. And for me, it was a good combination to go to TPF and then continue to visit him. I'm, let's say, the major distributor, I would say, over here in mainland Europe. I work together with a lot of distributors in different countries. Like I do import the Spooky games for whole Europe, and so I have here a good distribution network and bring over the games. And the quality what they are doing is really stunning, and they position themselves quality-wise and game-wise in the level of a Jersey Jack game. You see it as well price-wise. It's not priced like a Stern Pro, but it's a lot of stuff in it and very good ideas. And I'm really looking forward to get soon the first container of games for my customers. CE certification is in finalization. And then to get end of the year, beginning of next year, I hope something in this time range, then a new title for the people. And
yeah,
I checked my timing if it would have been possible to visit the factory a second time this year, because the Houston Arcade Expo is directly the week before Chicago
Expo, yeah.
But I cannot manage to go down there because my kids have their 11th birthday exactly the weekend before. I need to be at the birthday party of my kids,
Yes,
and if
you
I would then
do.
go to Chicago, to
Yes, you
Texas,
do.
I would be there only on Sunday, half a day, and so I decided I go only to Chicago this time.
Okay,
But
great.
next year, March, I have planned to go again to Texas, and I would like to visit the factory again.
Well, you're going to come to Houston, hopefully, and then come back to the Wormhole, and we'll show you the behind the scenes of our new museum that we call Wormhole East that we're building downtown. That'll hold 125 pens. That has 14,000 square feet.
Really looking forward to it.
And all these great things we'll show you. Multimorphic is another Texas company. And I've gotten to know their team really well. What's your feeling on the P3 platform?
P3 platform is very interesting, very good. I do have two of the games over there. It's I do have Weird Al's Museum of National Hilarity and Final Resistance over here.
I love
the situation on this game is when you move it, when you take it to shows, that's absolutely the most heaviest game because they have put so many stuff into it. You have from the technical perspective, it's really fascinating. You have this grid that the machine always know where the balls is, then the whole interaction with the display, but still you have up to 15 or even more balls in it. Because you have the trough and shooting it out on different positions. For the people, it's the case that for them, when they have a first look on it, they ask, okay, why do you have three buttons on the left and right? For what is this and that? This is sometimes a bit strange at the beginning because they need to get used to how to play it. Then sometimes I adjust the playing because when you have Weird Al as an example, you have the upper flippers and the lower flippers. You have two buttons on both sides to control the upper ones and the lower ones. And when you're not used to it, then you need to train yourself for this. I'm already used to it, and it's super to play because then you can easily control them, the uppers and lowers, and catch the ball behind the upper flipper or grab it on the lower one. And with the upper, you go on the orbit shots as an example. But at the beginning, the people think, okay, I need only one button. You have then the stacked switches that you have two switches I've seen now that I think it was Scott Danesi, a kit is available that you can adjust this as well to have it only on one flipper button, to have two switches behind for this feeling. This is a unit what I would like to buy, that the people have maybe more the feeling like on a normal pinball machine, that they get faster used to it. The entry level price is a bit higher, but as soon as you have the game, and then the price of the single kits is very reasonable. And with the actual portfolio and lineup what they have, it's really a wide range what they can already offer. And as well with the mini games and all that stuff, you have more than 20 games, so you have a good opportunity.
What's
and they did as well. They considered and listened to the market and considered all these points and worked it in with the would you call it new generation, with the facelift, let's say, what they did on the controlling of the servos instead of the coils, so that they can put in here different things. Now with the pack for the changed flipper mesh to have here a bit better feel, and with the different ATX power supplies. So they are doing well, but it's a smaller brand. It's going forward. More people are asking here for the games. I take it to different shows. We'll have it maybe soon as well in Germany at the tournament, because the organizer especially asked as well for it to take it once, and so that the people can see and play then Final Resistance. I like Scott's games.
I like Scott.
Especially
Well, I like Scott.
TNA is one of my absolute favorites, and so Final Resistance is very cool too.
Here's a shameful plug. I had Scott Danesi on a couple of weeks ago on the podcast, and it was excellent. He is easy to talk to and a great dude. I really like him. What's a pinball theme that hasn't been made yet that you think would resonate more in the European market than the United States market?
That's a good question.
Thank you.
There is already so many things out there. What I personally there is a movie what I really liked in the past, what I watched very often, was like Gun in 60 Seconds.
Yeah.
This was a cool, with Nicolas Cage, with the Ford Mustang. So this was a nice one. I don't know how big it is overall in the rankings and with all the earnings what they did. And I'm not into all the new television series what are there on Netflix or Disney or wherever. There's so many stuff going on. Let's say I have not expected at the beginning that the Wizard of Oz and the theme is so huge in the States that we would sell it as well such good in Europe. Because the people, they know it, but it seems much more popular over on your place. So this is something which is really well recognized over here in Europe on the market, and what I see is running good.
I thought as an Austrian, you would say Sound of Music.
It's more popular, let's say, in the US than in Austria. Everybody in the US knows it. I don't know when I have seen it the last time.
Oh gosh, they play the hell out of that here in the United States.
Yes, I know everybody. I need to have a look once again on it. I think it's maybe 25 or 30 years ago that I have seen it.
That's sad. That's a crying shame. That's terrible. Do you sell toppers and accessories as well?
Yes, I do. For example, I'm the international sales partner for Elite Pinball. Let's, for example, the Hobbit topper, what they have done, or the IJ topper, the POTC topper, and as well for the other manufacturers, that stuff. So I do have them in the program. And I put them now as well more on the web page. For example, on the Stern accessories, I put them now since a few weeks as well on my web page. It was not such big on my web shop till now, because you need to focus when you are not so many people on the core things, and when the customer want to have any additional equipment, I anyhow organize it or offer it to him, but it was not in the web shop.
Some toppers are just expensive, though. I mean, they did triple in cost, but they're still selling, right? I mean, the toppers are still going.
Yes, they are. Let's say, for example, the Black Knight topper, which is here in front of me on the game. It was, let's say, like a $500 topper in the past, and now it's nearly the triple the price. Therefore, it was as well important for the topper itself that they made an additional run of Black Knights as well. Because the game it's a good game. It was not built in such a high quantity because at the time when it have been introduced, it was not so super popular. Let's say it was well known, and Steve Ritchie have done a great job. Good theme integration in his trilogy, let's say. And the topper was really at this time point, because it was so rare, it was skyrocketing in prices. And that's the reason why they then produced it at a later time point again. It really fits very nice on the game. I picked up this LE, which might end up here in the club today in the morning, and it's really something cool when the head is moving around and when he's talking to you.
It's a really good topper. The Labyrinth topper we already saw. I've been yelling at you today. Cactus Canyon's got a good topper that's interactive. I mean, we're not really into the toppers here at the Wormhole, but I could see if you had a collection of 4 machines and one didn't have a topper, that lone wolf would probably drive me crazy. So I can see people going down that topper world. What's your best-selling pinball topper that you've sold in the last 10 years?
The best-selling pinball topper what I sold. I would say I sold really a very good amount of the IJ toppers from Elite in the different versions, what they did. This time point, they had the Elite version, then a Deluxe and the Standard version. And so as well, more toppers had been available. It took a bit longer time on the standards because everybody at the beginning wanted to have the Elite and the Deluxe, but it's such a great addition on your classical Indiana Jones game. So that was selling really good in good quantities.
And do you sell arcade games as well?
Yes, you see maybe here in the backgrounds, I do have one over there.
Yeah.
And this is even in design. I use this game often for when I go to shows, and you have such a multi-arcade PCB in it that you can play, let's say, like 2,000 games. And we customize the design of the cabinet for our customers as well, and offer them for private as well in different designs. So it's a good addition because if somebody, let's say, main customers for pinball, I would say is around between 35 and maybe up to 60. Let's say this is the major customer crowd, and male still.
Yeah.
And it often happened to me in the last years that the people, the couple said, yeah, our kids are out of the house, we have a new room, and we want to make a fun room for ourselves. So they put in a pinball machine, a snooker, depending on the size, snooker table or whatever, a darts machine, and an arcade game. And so it's always a great addition.
That's cool.
I do have as well a couple of neon lights, where I asked as well manufacturers to get permission. So we made some special neon lights with the different company logos, what we have here in the club. And so it's always important to have here some additional stuff. But I don't have, let's say, like the old fuel stations, the pipe ones, and all that stuff. I focus on pinball. I do have the other stuff as well. I have it in addition. I do have the soccer tables and dart machines. But we have a saying, and this means Schuster, bleib bei deinen Leisten. That means shoemaker, stay with your shoes and not make trousers or stuff like this.
It's true.
And if somebody is coming to me and asking for a jukebox, then I have some people which I'm working very close together, and I can organize it for them. But jukebox is again, it's a scene like pinball, and you need to have there as well your experts, which know how to fix the old stuff and the things. And so then I work together with other people.
Can we talk about Stern Insider Connect? Is Stern Insider Connect the future of pinball?
Let's say it is, and I think it will be a very good thing for the people and for the industry. and it gave them a good advantage what they have with it, because they really, so George and the team, they thought about long-term stuff already in the past, because you can introduce it on each Spike 2 title. So they had already something in the mind a long time ago. Spike 2 was introduced in 2016 with Aerosmith and Batman. And so at this time point, they already had something in mind. They considered already on all the games, when you have a game which have no inside in it, they considered the holes already on the apron. And it really gives a lot of opportunities. And with the challenges, what they are now doing, not only with the leaderboard, what they are having, they really make playing for the people more interesting and more long-term interesting. So if you have a game, and for example, if you have only one game and you know it already inside out, you know everything, but you had it before inside and then you put inside in it, then you have the challenge. I not only want to beat my high score, I want to get all of the single batches. I want to achieve everything. And so this is really interesting. It helps as well on location, on site with the leaderboard, that you can say, I make a local leaderboard. For example, in a bar, the best player gets a voucher for some bucks for the bar, for example, each month or whatever. And so the people are coming more often. They're having continuous competition. You see, somebody beat me. I'm not on high score anymore. I want to come back. And that's really good for the whole industry. It would be, as a player, it would be nice to have the opportunity as well to put other manufacturers' games into it as well. I don't know how the thoughts are here. Stern for sure have the advantage that they have so many games and that you have such a diversity now, that this is really good. So here the other manufacturers have a bit of challenge. Let's see what Jersey Jack is doing. They have removed Scorbit from the software. I assume they are developing an own system, and they do have already 9 titles, so there is a good variety already there, and they have here good opportunities too. Let's see what the future will bring.
Yeah,
it's good for competitive pinball and for casual players as well.
It is. I agree with you. And as an operator, if you are an operator, I think you have to have Stern Insider Connect, just for the data that the system allows you to see is invaluable as an operator. But I used to play a lot of video games, console games, Xbox, and I played a lot of Call of Duty. And my kids and I would play Call of Duty, and we got addicted to achievements from Xbox. I don't know if you've ever seen any of that stuff, but I think, those companies, Sony and Xbox, figured out that achievement badges, they're addicting. And the other day I was on my phone and my phone popped up a John Wick contract. And I thought, and I was saying to myself, I was on a date with my wife, and I was like, can I get out of this date and go try to win that contract at John Wick? But it's a very, very smart thing that they're doing. It'll be interesting, like you said, to see how the other manufacturers follow suit. But I believe, and this is my next question, do you think that Stern is going to start charging for Insider Connect?
I don't think it will be done in the short term.
Okay.
Long-term basis, I assume so, to be honest.
Yeah. I mean, they're going to get you addicted.
And if they will do so, I hope that they will, if they introduce it, I hope that limited customers will have it for free included, because this would be then one major part. And what is always important, and what they have done always till now, is the basic game, what is delivered, is a full game. So, and the people, they are happy to pay maybe something for it if you get something in addition. They should not cut away from it. So there's still the basic game need to be a full game, full code, everything in it, but you could do some extras on top, as an example.
Sure, like
And I
Keith
don't think
Reed
that I
does.
put now something in. I don't think that I put now something in the ears of Stern or so, because they have a big team, and a lot of people are thinking about that stuff. But it's bringing it big forward. I was fascinating about the figures what George Gomez gave out at TPF, where he showed us in the seminar a chart how many games have been done on Insider Connect and how exponentially it was growing. And I think this is really a good sign as well, because you get more players, you get new players, and this is important for all of us, independent of the brand. It's for the whole hobby. It's important to get always new people into it, that we have something continuous in the future. If our kids right now don't know what pinball is, who should buy pinball in 20 years?
Right. We're in trouble. Yeah. Yeah. And
so
the kids are playing Xbox, they're playing PlayStation, they're getting achievements and they're used to achievements. And it's absolutely brilliant. But I say my over under is 2 years. It's going to cost you $1.99 a month for Stern Insider Connect.
might be. I don't give here any predictions. I hope that it's free for as long as possible. But I really like the work what they are doing. It brings it forward. And typically I have here on this row 3 televisions. They are right now not here because we used them on the last show. And we have here on these televisions, we have our leaderboard, we have the videos from Ape Flips, we have the actual status for the tournament, so to show it. And so the people are always having a look on the leaderboard as well. Even if the leaderboard is then not the tournament what we have on this day, but they say, okay, should I play again the Turtles, for example, or John Wick is a new game, or this or that? I want to be the best. And so you want to be the best, and you have always a bit competing.
All right. I've kept you long enough. We have right now, it's time for our very popular and exciting game show segment that we call the Hurry Up. Basically, it's rapid fire questions, sir, without a real timer. And since I threw in a few tough questions, I'm going to give you a pass. So I'm introducing the pass. So you get to pass one of these questions, okay?
Okay, let's see.
Let's see. All right. Here we go. Kentucky or Scottish whiskey?
No whiskey at all. I hate it.
Favorite
It
sport?
reminds me always on my first girlfriend when she was smoking and then you were kissing her.
All right. Favorite sport to watch? Football, skiing, or ice hockey?
Sorry, the connection was football or?
What's your favorite sport to watch? Football, skiing, or ice
my
hockey?
favorite. I would say football, because right now we had the European Championship.
Absolutely.
I don't watch sport that much, but football.
Okay.
Soccer, to be precise.
Absolutely. The next 2 questions were sent in from my friend Co from Quarter Drop Arcade. The best pinball machine with the word Who in the title. Doctor Who Bally 92, The Who's Tommy Pinball Wizard, Data East 94, or Who Done It, Bally 95.
I would say Who Done It, followed by Doctor Who. I really like the game, going up the elevator, up and down, making your challenges, and I'm not such a good on a repetitive shot on Doctor Who. That's the reason why I prefer the Who Done It.
Why don't Europeans put ice in their drinks? Is there an ice shortage across the Atlantic that we in the United States should be worried about?
Can you start, please? The connection was shortly. Why Europeans?
Okay, sorry. Why don't Europeans put ice in your drinks?
We do, but it depends on what, but not that big amount like you do. If I go to McDonald's in the States, it's basically ice and drink, but I would like to have a drink with ice.
I was wondering if you had an ice shortage in Europe. Yeah, that
No, we
should be
don't
worried about. All right. On a scale
a
of
cold,
one,
cold drink is important and good, but not in such huge amounts.
we like ice and we like huge things here in America. So you know that.
And on alcoholic drinks, anyhow, it's better to use, let's say, like there are some special plastic or stone ice cubes, let's say, you put them in the fridge, and then you don't have watering down your drink. It still gets the drink cold, but you don't water it down.
All right. Favorite motorcycle out of these three: Harley Davidson, BMW, or Honda?
I would say KTM because I'm working at the
Okay.
company, but out of this combination, I would say Harley Davidson.
Okay. On a scale of 1 to 10, how upset were Jurassic Park LE buyers when Stern released the 30th anniversary edition of Jurassic Park?
Ooh, the LE buyers. I had some which have now both, but in generally, I would say 8 or 9.
Yeah. Okay. Better food, Europe or America?
This was really
Oh, go ahead. Finish.
this was basically it's a great title. It's a lot of fun. So the people which didn't have a Jurassic Park, they had been super happy about it to get all this feature, and it looks nice in the red. I had as well some customers which have the LE and bought it in addition. Because maybe one is then in the main house and the other one is in the holiday house.
Wow,
But
that's
for
nice.
the original LE owners, they had been a bit pissed
Yeah.
because it's not limited anymore.
Yeah. Better food, Europe or America?
Europe, absolutely.
Here's two reasons why you're wrong. All right. One, look how big we are, right? We didn't get this big by eating bad food. And two,
You know me, quite big too.
here's the other reason why your food is not good. You put mayonnaise on French fries.
No, I don't. I don't eat mayonnaise on French fries. That's not
But
possible. Only ketchup.
oh, but most of you Europeans put mayonnaise on French fries. That is so
Like
disgusting.
my girlfriend does, and then I move her ceramics far away from mine.
All right, last question for the hurry up. Best Arnold Schwarzenegger featured pinball machine: Terminator 2, Terminator 3, or Last Action Hero?
Terminator 2. That's the classic one.
Yeah, it's the best. That's the best. All right, Stefan, this was very fun. Thanks so much for being a great sport, and thanks so much for being on the podcast. We did way too long. I'm so sorry. We talked forever. I could talk to you for another hour, so I really appreciate it. You're coming to the States in after your kid's 11th birthday. You're going to be at Expo. Is that right?
Yes, that's right. And I will hold a seminar this year at Expo as well. And so if you really want to see why Europe have some good food, I will bring, and I will ask a lot of Austrian people, we will bring Austrian sweets. So even if you're not interested in how the pinball sport have been evolving in Austria, this is my seminar title, what I will bring. Then we will have some nice biscuits and Austrian sweets. So even this should be then a reason maybe for you to visit the seminar.
I'm going to be at Expo with Tim and John. All the wormholer guys are going to be there. So let's hook up and first drink on me. Okay.
Perfect.
How can
Yes, I'm
people
really looking forward to see you again.
absolutely? How can people follow you? How can they follow you on social media and how if someone wants to buy a machine, how do they get in touch with you?
Go on www.rs-pinball.at or com or de. You will find my webpage from the company RS Pinball. Let's so put it
There it
like this
is.
is the company logo. Or go to the club Flipparena. You find me on Facebook. You find me on Instagram. I do when I'm at different shows, always or often a video walk through and show the people what's going on there. This is what I get feedback from a lot of people that they really like this to see what's going on in Germany, in Hungary, in Switzerland, or even in the States when I'm there, because if they cannot see it, that they see what is new. And it's for me, it's always important to meet a lot of people, have a lot of fun there, networks, see new suppliers, see new developments, what are going on, and enjoying the time with the big pinball family.
Well, it is a great family, and I'm so happy to talk to you again. And first drink on me in Chicago.
Yes, and then I will bring Jägermeister. We have the small bottles. I show
Oh,
you how to drink it in
no,
Chicago.
I don't. You're not going to get me to drink Jaeger. All right, Stefan, thank you so much, man. I appreciate it.
Good. Thank you. It was great to see you. Bye.
Bye. That was fun, Stefan. Thank you so much for being a great sport and a great guest. I wanted to go down a rabbit hole with him because I'm fascinated with the behind the scenes aspect of being a distributor. Just like I love what Co from Quarter Drop Arcade does on Instagram, how he's documenting his journey. And I really love Rachel and Kale from Electric Backcast, how they take you behind the scenes of being an operator and an owner of arcade. So I kind of wanted to do that on the distributor side. Speaking of behind the scenes, our vault construction's almost done. So I'm going to be starting a series of reels and posts called Name That Pin. We'll be recording a collection of pins from the Wormhole East building that's going to be completed and documenting the building's journey. Question for the audience, though, should we post a link to the entire Wormhole collection? Would that be something you'd be interested in seeing? Or maybe I tease like 10 a week because there's over 200, so maybe I could space them out. Who knows? Let me know what you think. What else would you like to see us document here at the Wormhole? Send me an IM, email to wormholepinball@gmail.com. We are in the process of redoing our entire website, so that journey will be documented there as well. If you're interested in joining our Discord channel, hit me up. We don't bombard you with a lot of content there, but if you're on the platform, there's no reason why you shouldn't be on our server as well. Next week, I don't know what I'm doing next week. I might have someone, I might not, but I definitely have someone for the 31st, and I'm booked solid in August. So hit me up and let me know who you think we should interview and who we should highlight. All right, that's all for Wormhole Pinball. I am Jamie Birchall, and please remember our #1 rule at the Wormhole: don't be an a-hole.